Any
Sure.
funny stories with Mark Messier or Ryan Callahan, two former Ranger captains?
So they're both great dudes. Callahan probably doesn't get enough credit, right, for being the player that he was, and where the Ranger captaincy, then goes to Tampa Bay and has a great second career there. And I think when he walks in, he sort of takes a step back because he's Messier, right? Now, they both wore the same sweater.
Mm-hmm.
They both wore the same letter on that same prestigious sweater. But I think there's an aura about Mark Messier, right? When Mess walks in a room, when Mess says anything on TV, like I think got a lot of Rangers fans' attention the other day in the pregame, before the game even started. He said the key to the Rangers' success would be they got to get their asses off the boards and go to the middle of the ice. Because I was like, whoa, hey, whoa. And so that got a lot of attention. He also talked about one of the Rangers got boarded by Tom Wilson about putting yourself in a bad position. Like if I did that to myself, I would have never played 20 years in the NHL. You got to be aware, A, of any player, but B, Tom Wilson's out there. You see him coming. Why would you ever turn your back to him? So that I'm saying is, so the weight of Messier's words, I think it carries so much in the NHL because of who he is, much like Wayne Gretzky, quite frankly. And so both have been a pleasure to work with. Both have great careers ahead of them in broadcasting, if they want to do it. And it's been a lot of fun. And again, growing up as a Ranger fan, now again, I'm older than Callahan and maybe a couple of years younger than Messier. So it's not like I grew up watching them, but certainly not Callahan. But I was a kid watching Messier too. And in 90, I only got to ESPN in 93. So 94 is a year later, less than a year from my time at ESPN. But it's been a pleasure. And I'm not too proud to admit, I compartmentalize in my brain. Okay, Mark Messier, he's my colleague. He's kind of my buddy, my friend. We'll text and all that stuff, and we'll go out for dinner and have drinks and all that, which is kind of cool. And then sometimes I do slip back into fan mode a little bit. And, Mess watches unbelievable amount of hockey. Like 2 a.m, we'll text about a West Coast game. And I might just text my buddies, hey, you can't believe you just texted me a hockey thing at 2 a.m. Mark Messier is texting me about hockey. And that's really cool, right? So then I try to not put my fan hat on too often. And hey, he's a colleague. He's an ESPN employee, just like me. But it's a little bit different. And so that's one of the fun, cool things about the job. And I just like to see, and I close with this, but so it's really cool for me, who has spent an entire career trying to get good at this broadcasting, sportscasting thing, to see retired athletes or managers in whatever sport they are, who played at the top of their level in those games, again, whatever sport, they come into the broadcasting world, and I guarantee you they think it's going to be easy. When they're playing or coaching or managing, they're saying, look at those guys up in the booth. They just show up, put a headset on, and start talking. Now, us three, we know that's not the case. But then these players and athletes come over and they try to do what we do, and they're blown away. And they're nervous. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine them being nervous? They play in front of 75,000 people, whatever it is, a football stadium, baseball, hockey, whatever it is. And so I always appreciate that. And it gives me great comfort in knowing, hey, you know what? Maybe we have some skill on our end too. Maybe there is a talent. Our work ethic shows too. And the best example, it wasn't last year, it was 2 years ago. Mess and Chelly and I did a broadcast in Vegas. I can't remember, it was the Bruins against the Golden Knights. We put the headsets on. Now, these guys have never broadcast a game, right? You can imagine how many games they watched. We know how many games they played in. They've never broadcast a game. And at the end of the first period, they take the headset off, and they both look at me like they were shot out of a cannon, like they had parachuted into a foreign country that they had never seen. And I was just laughing my ass off. Like, they were like, whoa, it was a real adjustment period. And I think they're still tweaking it. They get better every year, as everybody does in every job, in every line of work. So that makes me feel good about the business that the three of us have chosen. the sport that we're around. And look, I got really young kids. I just told you they had a snow day today. I got twin boys who are 11 years old. I started late in life, so I got to keep working for a few more years, and I'm hoping ESPN will keep me around.